RRSPs are a popular retirement savings account, but it may be advisable to draw them down aggressively once you're retired. Today, we're going over 3 reasons why you'll want to draw down your RRSPs aggressively in retirement. I'm Marc Sabourin from TransCanada Wealth Management. Let's dig into it. The first reason to draw down your RRSPs aggressively is the RRSP Tax Bomb. Now, there are a lot of people out there who absolutely hate RRSPs. I often hear stories such as, my parents had RRSPs and when they passed away, the government took half their money. Now, yes, this can happen, but it can be avoided with proper planning. So what's the issue? Here are the combined Manitoba and federal tax rates. And as we can see, as your income increases, the more taxes that you're going to pay. Let's say we have Jim and Rose and they each have $500,000 in their RRSPs. If Jim passes away, his $500,000 would roll over to Rose's RRSP tax-free, so there's no issue there. However, once Rose passes away, whatever's left in the RRSP gets added to her taxable income in the year that she passes away. So if she still has over $1 million in her RRSPs, she's going to be getting taxed at over 50% on a good chunk of her income in that year. Even if Rose names her kids as beneficiaries of her RRSP, there's still no way for her estate to get around this tax bill. Alright, so how can we reduce the impact of this tax bomb? Well, Jim and Rose can start making withdrawals from their RRSPs, even though they might not necessarily need the money. So let's say that they're each making $60,000 per year. That would put them in the 33.25% tax bracket. If they each withdrew $19,000 from their RRSPs, their income would increase to $79,000 and they would be in the same tax bracket. So they'd be paying a lot less tax today compared to if they both passed away. Even if Jim and Rose don't need the cash from these RRSP withdrawals, they can still use that money to top up their TFSAs or invest in a joint non-registered account where it's going to be invested more tax efficiently for the long run. The second reason to draw down your RRSPs aggressively is to avoid the old age security clawback. At age 65, most Canadians take their old age security pension, which currently pays just over $687 per month if you're receiving the maximum amount. Now, to receive the maximum amount, you have to be a Canadian resident for 40 years after the age of 18. However, if you're receiving your old age security pension and your net income is over $86,912, then for every dollar that you make above that, you're going to lose 15 cents of your old age security payment. For example, if you made $100,000, your old age security pension would be reduced by $163 per month. Let's say that Rick is 62 and he's got money in RRSPs. He doesn't need the money, so he just lets the account continue to grow. Eventually, at age 71, Rick is forced to convert his RRSP into a RRIF, and at age 72, he's mandated to take a minimum withdrawal from his RRIF account. Now, based on today's rates, he would have to withdraw 5.4% out of his RRIF at age 72. If Rick has $1 million in his RRIF, he would be forced to take out $54,000 in the year that he turns 72. Now, if he already has other income of $50,000, his income is now sitting at $104,000 for the year, and he's unnecessarily losing out on some of his old age security pension. Rather than waiting until 72 to begin making withdrawals, Rick would be better served to make withdrawals along the way. By doing so, his mandated withdrawals at 72 would be lower because there would be less money in the account. He could potentially get around the old age security clawback if the mandated withdrawals are low enough at that point. The third reason to draw down your RRSPs aggressively is personal care homes. As much as we don't want to think about it, we may end up in a personal care home one day. And fair or not, the cost of staying in a Manitoba health care home is based on your income. And just because you're paying more than the person in the room beside you, you're not going to be receiving a steak dinner every night. Your services will actually be the exact same. For an individual in Manitoba, if your net income is below $19,160, you will pay the lowest daily rate of $39.90. Now, as your net income rises, so does your daily cost, which maxes out at $96.40 per day once your net income is above $39,746. As you can see, someone with a high income is paying nearly 3 times as much as someone with a low income for the exact same services. Since there's no advantage to having a high income once in a care home, it's best to keep your income as low as possible to pay less for your care. There isn't much you can do if you're receiving pension income, so for example, your work pension, CPP, old age security, but you'll want to keep your withdrawals from registered accounts such as your RRIF as low as possible. The best way to do this is to aggressively draw down your RRSPs or RRIF before you enter a care home. To summarize, there's 3 reasons to aggressively draw down your RRSPs. The first is the RRSP tax bomb. The second is the old age security clawback. And the third is the cost of paying for a personal care home. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next time.